Okay, so I am going to give you an example of how to add fractions with unlike denominators. All right, we're going to start with the fraction 1/3 plus 1/6. Now, if you notice, the denominators in both of these fractions are unlike. We have to make these denominators like or same. What we're going to do first is stand our fraction up because I find that it's a little bit easier when you stand them up. So you have 1/3 plus 1/6. We'll go ahead and put our equal sign because these two fractions are going to change. Now, with our unlike fractions, the way we determine what our new denominator is going to be, we need to find the least common multiple of the two. And how do we do that? Simple multiplication chart. So you start off with our 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, now let's go to the 1 and do the 6 and do the same thing. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. We don't need to go any further because I already see a multiple that they have in common, and that will be 6. So that is making 6 our new denominator. We're choosing 6 because that's the least common multiple, or the number that they both have in common. It's now our denominator. And we can go ahead and write that because we know that that is going to be a part of our answer. All right, so now comes the tricky part. We need to make new numerators. And how do we do that? We can do division and multiplication. The first thing we're going to do is see how many times 6 can go into 6. This denominator into this denominator. Or what can we multiply times this 6 to get that 6? We know that the answer is 1. 6 times 1 is 6, or 6 goes into 6 one time. And whatever you do at the bottom, you have to do at the top. So we multiply by 1 at the bottom, which means that we have to multiply by 1 at the top. For me, I find that it's easier to put a number in parentheses versus writing the X and then the number. This is just a little bit cleaner. So now we know that we're going to multiply 1 times 1, and that is going to give us our new numerator. 1 times 1 is 1. We've figured out the bottom part of our fraction. Now we have to go to the top part of our fraction. 3 goes into 6, or 3 times what is 6? We know that if we multiply 3 times 2, it will give us 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. What we do at the bottom, we have to do at the top. 1 times 2 is 2. What do we do now? Well, we've already brought down our like denominator. When you have like denominators, the only thing you have to do is bring them down. You do not have to add like denominators. You just simply transfer it to the whatever your new fraction is going to be. But what you do have to add are the numerators. Add the numerators. 2 plus 1 is 3. I would like to say we're finished. However, remember when we were over here, we found some like numbers? That means that 3 and 6 can be simplified, broken down into a smaller fraction. 3 goes into 3. How many times? 1. How many times can 3 go into 6? 3 times 2 is 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Our simplified fraction, or our answer, is now 1/2. So 1/3 plus 1/6 equals 1/2. Stay tuned for the next video where we are going to add mixed numbers and fractions.